With only about a month left of 2024, there are still a few really awesome PCVR games to be released, and even more to come out in 2025. Here are 6 games to keep your eyes on, and eventually get your hands on. Or head in. Head in. You get what I mean. Alien Rogue Incursion. Okay, we have to talk about Alien Rogue Incursion. I mean, it's Alien. With H.R. Giger's iconic xenomorph design and Ridley Scott's chilling space atmosphere, you're always guaranteed an incredible sci-fi horror experience. And if you've played previous Alien games like Alien Isolation or even seen the latest movie, Alien Romulus, you know just how scary the franchise can get. But how do you make it even more scary? Oh, I know, by putting a headset on and experiencing a facehugger flying toward you in first person. It has "Hell No" written all over it, and honestly, I'm here for it. As a huge fan of the Alien series, I can't wait to play it when it hits Steam on December 19th of 2024. And I'm assuming you'll most likely see clips of me on this channel screaming my head off playing it. Pools VR. If you're an internet dweller, you've probably heard of the Backrooms. The Backrooms is a fictional location made up of a bunch of endless rooms with a lonely and eerie atmosphere. It's not an actual place, more like just a super creepy concept. While Pools is a walking simulator inspired by the Backrooms. You aimlessly wander empty liminal spaces that are sometimes beautiful, but at all times eerie. While you're not fighting enemies or running from monsters, Pools taps into more psychological fears, like getting lost or simply the dark. You'll squeeze into small places that seemingly lead to nowhere and fall into swimming pools that end up being way darker and deeper than you expected. As you can tell from this gameplay, Pools is a game that will likely best be experienced in VR. Pools was released on Steam in 2024 as a non-VR experience to tons of praise, but is now currently holding public VR beta testing and is expected to be released as a full VR experience in early 2025. Memoreum.
It's been some time since we last spoke.
Releasing in 2025, Memoreum is a sci-fi horror FPS by Patient 8 Games. It's their first standalone game, but they're the team behind the extremely elaborate Half-Life Alyx mod, Return to Rapture, which puts players into the world of BioShock. Anything they make piques my interest at this point, but the story and atmosphere in Memoreum really drew me in. You play as a man named Dr. Hudson, Earth is dying, and you're being sent on a colony spaceship to find a new home. Until, of course, something goes terribly wrong. Apparently someone brought some sort of alien parasite onto the ship, and the result is The Thing meets Lilycat meets Dead Space. Unlike your typical FPS, Memoreum is narrative driven and puts heavy emphasis on the story. So as you fight your way through the HAL-infested colony ship, you'll also be unraveling the mystery behind the parasite plaguing it.
Have a nice day.
Alright, next is Behemoth. This monster slayer is made by Skydance Games, whose parent company makes Mission Impossible and a ton of your other favorite movies. In Behemoth you play as Ren, whose village has been tragically plagued by a curse that deteriorates your skin and induces bloodlust in you that makes you want to attack everything in sight. You have to fight through what's called the Forsaken Lands and eventually fight literal behemoths who are the source of the curse. And you really have to see the size of these giants. These are like Attack on Titan size monsters. You don't only fight behemoths though, there are plenty of normal sized enemies as well, and combat looks absolutely unhinged, from punching enemies' heads off to literally slicing them in half. Behemoth definitely doesn't shy away from the gratuitous violence, and I love it. You can wishlist Behemoth right now on Steam. Gunman Contracts. Gunman Contracts started off as a Half-Life Alyx mod, because Half-Life mods just make for awesome games. That's just what they do. The mod was so popular that the developer A&B Seth, with the help of publisher 2080 Games, began to work on a standalone version, and I'm super excited about it. The Gunman Contracts standalone version is called Gunman Contracts Standalone, just to make sure you know exactly which version you're playing. In Gunman Contracts Standalone, you're a hitman taking down big-time underground criminals, and it looks like it's literally going to make you feel like John Wick. The original mod was highly praised for its smooth mechanics and realistic gunplay, and the standalone seems to be improving on all of those aspects even further. Gunman Contracts is coming to early access via Steam in 2025. Arken Age. Arken Age is a VR action-adventure game set in the Biochasm, a terraformed fantasy world created by the Grand Arborist. At least that's what it says here on the Steam page. And I mean, I literally couldn't sum it up better myself, and I think you'll get what I mean while watching this footage. The world in Arken Age literally looks like one huge biology experiment concocted by a mad scientist obsessed with fantasy, technology, and nature. Oh, and also robots. And guns. But we have to give this grand arborist some credit, because the world he created in Arken Age is extremely unique and vibrant. It's filled with luscious, green trees and buildings with high fantasy-like architecture, but with strange robotic and also organic alien life forms inhabiting it. The gameplay and all-around combat looks like a lot of fun, and there seems to be a lot to explore in this biochasm. Luckily, we won't have to wait very long to find out, because Arken Age will be available on Steam on January 16th, 2025. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. The list really just goes on from there. VR just keeps getting better, and the quality of VR games available reflects that. I'm going to be playing all these games on the VIVE Focus Vision, and if you're new to VR or simply looking for an upgrade before all these awesome games hit Steam, I'd recommend you do the same so that you can play them in 5K. I'm always on the lookout for new VR games, so if there's any recommendation that you have that I didn't add to this list, let me know in the comments. Also, like and subscribe, and you might even see us play some of these recommendations.